Previously on Bad Bible Debates.
I think the power just went out.
Hello?
Bjorn!
Run, Joel, run!
There was a head in the fridge, like a human head.
We have a ghost.
Joel and I had become such good friends over this nightmare of a podcast journey.
So I guess it's a type of Swedish taxidermy.
Murders on the rise in this snowy Swedish countryside.
I need to finish the Guns of Navarone.
Why is the chief of police here?
Igor's got this massive moose knuckle.
There were just knives everywhere.
This is the last time I shaved my balls.
Okay, so there's Igor, the giant intern, Brigida, the audio engineer, Anders, the janitor, Helga, the ghost thing, and Frederick, the chief of police. And then there's Bjorn!
Guys, where are you? Run, Joel, run!
BBD.
We're back. We're back and welcome to episode 25. Fuck. Okay, Mezzo and I got separated in the dark, and I'm back in the TV room. They call it the TV room here. It's the place where you watch TV, and it's completely different than like a living room or a family room, because as we know in the Americas, TV gives you life. So it's called a living room. I just keep hitting the power on the DVD player because I need to finish the Guns of Navarone. I don't know where Mezzo is. I hope he's okay. I don't know what's going on right now. I wish I wasn't in Sweden. Honestly, I hate Sweden right now. I know we did a bunch of beautiful ads for Sweden. Don't come here. It is scary. And I need to finish this movie. I just want the power to turn back on so I can finish this goddamn movie. Pastrami, do I like you or do I not like you?
We have a very robust friendship. Like, it's not all about love.
Okay. What did God get right?
I would say my favorite thing that God.
Don't say the subjugation of women, because I'll drop you right away.
No. No, it's not where I was going.
Okay.
Out of all the things that God has done, like one of my favorite, probably like top three is the laws of thermodynamics. Are you familiar with the laws of thermodynamics?
Not really.
I'm not gonna get into a detail, but it's basically the laws of thermodynamics describes how energy transfers in the universe, and that allows change to happen. I'll tie it to Ecclesiastes. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Ecclesiastes 3:11.
What? Can you read it? I'm eating.
Okay, so it reads, "He has made everything fine at its time. He has even put eternity into their minds, except that man does not find out the work God has done from beginning to end."
I better not get hiccups. The second law of thermodynamics, is that what you said was so good?
Well, all of them, but I think it's the second law that mentions entropy. Like things change.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
You don't like it?
No, I don't think you got that right.
Okay.
I'm aging. People can't tell this. I'm very youthful. You guys can't. You probably don't know this. I usually drink a lot of water, as people here in the live will attest.
Yeah, you're like 29, maybe, right?
See, we are good friends. But this is the thing. I am aging, believe it or not. And I hate it. I'm getting older. My hair, as much as it's beautiful and luscious still, it's not as thick as it used to be, I don't think God got that right. The whole thing of like aging, stuff creeping in, like pains in the old bones and things not working as well as they used to or whatever. This isn't ideal. I would say that was a failure. So your laws, particularly the second one, but all the thermodynamic ones, I don't know if change. Who likes change?
Yeah. So what you brought up about I guess we could call it negative consequences of change. Basically, what I'm saying is in Ecclesiastes, if everything were to be perfect and we live forever, it wouldn't be boring because things would change.
So we don't need to have all of the things falling apart and sucking. But anyway, you like that. You like aging and you want to die eventually. I get it.
Change doesn't have to be bad, but when it is bad, then that brings me to the second point. So Romans chapter 8, we can start in verse 35. Yeah, and you're still eating probably?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and read it. For I am convinced that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor governments, nor things here, nor things to come, nor powers, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creation will separate us from God's love. Because of the laws of thermodynamics and because change is possible, when things go wrong, because things can be changed, they can be fixed. They can be repaired. There is no damage that we can suffer that is permanent.
Or is necessarily sorry. I need the Heimlich. Is necessarily permanent. Because it might be permanent. Harlequin babies can't be fixed, for instance. They're born permanently in that state, and then they die in that state shortly after. But I would say that like you're silver lining this to the nth degree, right? You're going like, hey, maybe these things could change for the better. Yeah, everything falls apart and ends and becomes worse and worse as time goes by, but at least we're not permanent. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's so much that he's getting wrong in this scenario.
Let me ask you a personal question, Jolie, if it's okay. Do you feel like you have transcended suffering, or are you still working on it?
I don't think I've transcended it, nor am I working on it. I don't know what you mean by those questions. I think I know what you mean by transcended. I haven't overcome. I'm not like I haven't beaten suffering, but I don't know that I'm trying to transcend suffering. I don't know what that would look like.
Do you think it's a worthy goal for a person to try to achieve?
You know what I've been doing? I've been, if something, you guys are going to go, he's lying. If something itches me, like if my nose itches or something like that, or like right now I'm itching here. I've just started, I feel an itch. I've decided sometimes I won't scratch it. I'll just like try to mind over matter it. Like I'll just be like, I don't feel that itch. And sometimes I can do it. Sometimes, I don't know if it just goes away or if I can like control that I'm not like feeling something there. Is that what you're talking about?
So this would be an example of transcending physical suffering, right? The type of suffering that hurts the most is the emotional suffering. Would you agree or disagree?
Sure. I'm just going to jump to the chase real quick though. There would be no suffering to transcend if God had gotten it right. All the horrible stuff isn't permanent. That's good. Well, no, but we have the horrible stuff. That's how he got it wrong, right? Yeah, but he gave us a way to transcend our emotional pain or something. That's how he got it wrong. We have that pain. That's how he screwed up.
What would you say is the reason that God allowed, or based on the study of the Bible, what is the reason that God allowed suffering to exist?
I actually don't know the answer to that.
You're familiar with the passage in Genesis with the snake and Eve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what the snake mentioned? Is the snake said to Eve, "You will be like God, knowing good and bad."
Yeah, if they eat the fruit, then they would end up being like God, and they would know good and evil.
Something that I think it's in Isaiah somewhere. It mentions that God doesn't teach, or God you do not teach God right and wrong. He decides what right and wrong is, right?
I don't know that passage, but okay.
Now, if we tie that passage to Genesis, what the serpent was saying is, if you eat the fruit, you will be able to decide what's right and wrong, and you won't die. Basically, you will be successful in deciding for yourself what is right and what is wrong.
All right, that's a big if, but okay, I'll go with it.
So basically, the serpent brought up this question, right? Do we really need God in order to have a good life?
No, he didn't bring that up.
Okay, so you're not seeing that query in that passage.
He says, "Did God tell you not to eat any of the trees in the garden?" And Eve goes, yeah. Well, no. He said, "Don't eat this one, or else we'll die. Don't even touch it," which nobody had said. And then the serpent goes, "Yeah, he just knows that you'll know good and evil if you do."
But what do you understand by that when he says you will know good and evil?
She would have like an understanding of a sense of morality.
In my study of the scriptures, basically, God has allowed humans to partake in that experiment, you know?
Yeah, I doubt that.
I've gone through traumatizing things in my life, right? But I don't hold it against God because those experiences serve as evidence that I do need God in my life, and I would much rather have God rule over humans and decide what's right and bad.
God thinks it's okay to kill a bunch of little babies, Pastrami. God thinks it's okay for you to marry someone who sexually assaults you. God thinks it's okay for people to own slaves. So when you say that, it sounds like you don't know your God, because your God is not doing a good job.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're bringing up some things, mostly from the Old Testament, that you feel are not morally righteous, right?
That was in the Old Testament. We don't read the shit in the Old Testament. I'm not even sure why it's still in print, but that's the dickish God from the Old Testament. Sure, he told you how to keep them slaves, and yes, he commanded you to kidnap babes. Only one small tribe were his personal faves, but no one worships the God from the Old Testament. Do they? Do they?
Yeah, but it's still God.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about Adam and Eve. That was all I don't know if you know this. That was all Old Testament. What you're saying is, I'd rather this God decide what is right and wrong. And then I mentioned what this God thinks is right, and that is babies being completely unalived by fully grown adults. That's egregious, man. That's egregious. I don't care where in the Bible it is. If you believe that that's true, that sucks.
Just as I know, Joel, like that little song, it's kind of like a hip hop vibe, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm imagining you singing it with like big sunglasses, like a big chain around your neck,
yeah, really cool,
like baggy pants, like oversized
lots
shoes,
of color, yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, like hip hop type of vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm kind of hip hop vibe. Yeah.
BBDs. Okay. The good news is the power's back on. The bad news is I still haven't found Joel since we got separated. I'm back in the break room. I'm looking for some clues here, and I'm scared to do this, but I think I need to open the fridge again. Let me just make sure no one's coming. Okay. Let's do this. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's... Wait, is that... Ah! It was you. You did this?
Oh, BBDs.
Luke, what's your age and religion?
Hey, I am 41 years old and I am a Christian.
Luke, why should I believe God, or why should I believe in God?
The reason that I believe that God is real is because my personal journey has brought me to that conclusion. You heard of like a testimony, right?
I've heard of several.
One of the reasons I became a Christian is because I looked at the world around me to start with, and I wondered, where did it all come from? How did we get here, right? Which I'm sure everybody at some point asked that same question to themselves.
I think of that from a just like space exploration standpoint. Like I wonder about like life on other planets and stuff. But I think some people answer that with God too. Like God is I mean, technically an extraterrestrial. Like he lives off of Earth and thinks. So like he's a thinking alien thing. Like I know I'm not trying to like bring up aliens, but yeah, it is a thing that people think about like naturally. We're just inquisitive in that way.
And I'm sure that's why a lot of people are on this live. Like, is there anything more? Is there life after death?
Do you mean like humans and like life on Earth, or do you mean like the Earth itself, the entire universe? Like what kind of question were you seeking?
Yeah, sure, everything.
You know about God of the Gaps, right?
Yeah, I've heard of the expression, but if you could summarize it, it would be great.
Oh yeah, no problem. So like, thousands of years ago, they didn't know about like what sickness it, like germs. And so when people got sick and then later got like healed from it because their white blood cells were fighting off germs inside their body, they didn't know what was happening. Their gap in that knowledge, they filled with God. They put God there and said, God made us sick, and then God made us better. When we kind of figured out what it was, most Christians even today will say like, oh yeah, germs make you sick and your white blood cells heal you. So the gap got a little smaller. Every time that there's like some hole in our knowledge, you fill God, like you just jam God into that hole, right? And sometimes people are jamming like two different gods into the same hole, like polytheists and stuff like that. But for most like Christians, it's just one God, one hole, or all the holes. As time went on and we learned more, the holes got smaller and smaller. And so the God kind of shrunk and shrunk. Now there's a few holes left. Where did we come from? Are we alone? Are good examples of holes, right? When you're trying to like fill God into that hole, that's neat. God has filled your hole up. Once we find out that answer through other means, the hole will get smaller, right? It gets tighter and tighter. The reverse of that I like to talk about is the gaps of the God. How did the universe come to be? Well, God made it. How? There's still a hole here, right? How does a God make a universe? You haven't really solved anything. All you've said is that the way the universe came to be involves a being who can think and has emotions and cares about what we do and can communicate with us telepathically. You haven't solved the riddle at all. You've made the riddle more confusing. You made it more complex by adding a God into this hole.
Okay, if God is not the answer for the origin of life, well, what is the answer?
For a life, there are like fully possible answers. There's good hypotheses out there for like life. So once you have a universe, life is going to happen. That's totally like figure outable. Okay, now we haven't like pinpointed the exact first universal common ancestor that we all share. Like we don't know exactly what that was yet, but that's a little tiny gap hole. That used to be a big hole, and it gets like smaller and smaller and smaller because like we've narrowed down. Like we didn't know why there are also trees and stuff, and now we do. Like the branching of evolution is a known. You believe in evolution, right?
So I believe in microevolution. I don't believe in macroevolution.
So you ignore all of biology and all the science of that in order to make that hole bigger. So that's a thing that commonly happens with like gods of the gaps people. The hole's getting too small, and so they go, well, let's ignore all of this information, and that makes a bigger informational hole for me to put God in.
That's not how I would explain the motivation behind it. For me, that may be what motivates some people or what you've experienced, but
yeah, the people who like first started saying evolution isn't true because God. That's what they were doing. They were trying to like set that information aside, set all the data aside, set all the science aside in order to like save room for God. That's why you've been tricked into thinking evolution isn't true.
I don't agree with macroevolution because I don't think that there is the evidence for it. By digging up the fossils and looking at the fossils, how can I know that they evolved into the succeeding fossils?
Yeah, so they don't just like find a skeleton and go, well, I know exactly what this. They used to. It used to be the case that they were like, this is a skeleton. It's clearly a mermaid. I know what's happening. Like they would just like make stuff up. But what happens is they don't just find them laying about. They're found in layers, right? Like in geological layers. And that helps you with a bit of a timeline. If you found like modern humans in an ancient layer that was like 2 million years old, you'd have a puzzle. Like that would fucking fuck you up, right? That like evolution would have to be like rethought at that point. But it's always right. Every single thing they found, it's like, yep, this thing is in the right layer. This makes sense. So the earlier generations of things, when they find what looks like a giraffe but has a shorter neck, it's in an earlier layer. That just keeps happening, right? Like, and they'd have other ways to date it. Like they use rubidium-87 and strontium-87, like dating method techniques that are like super accurate. They're based off of half-lives. Like there's facts that they're based off of. And so it keeps on adding up. It keeps being right. And not only that, but it's predictable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that the bones do exist. What I doubt is that the explanation that is given behind the findings.
Okay, so give us an alternate explanation.
The alternate explanation I have is that there was a worldwide catastrophe known to us as Noah's flood. And that catastrophe created the layers that we see today. And them geological layers trap the animals in them and fossilize them. And that's how the fossil record was made.
When that one event happened at one point in time, it made all of the lower fossils appear older. Like it messed with their chemistry in a way. Like the water messed with their chemistry in a way that they would be older. You
In
think
what sense?
the flood layered like millions of years worth of bones and put them in the correct order that we would expect to see if evolution was true? It didn't scramble them up. It wasn't like a flood where it was like making a big old mess. It like the waters like orderly put things from oldest to youngest.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the sea creatures and smaller things would have been covered first. Mammals that are stronger that could run and escape the flood waters, that they would obviously survive longer and show up in the higher layers.
I'm trying to think about it. It's not happening now.
B, D's. Cheers.
Cheers!
And we're back.
Huzzah!
This is embarrassing. Crisis averted. For those of you who were worried about the heads and what was going on earlier,
Phew.
I was able to finish Guns of Navarone, and we actually all watched it together. I'm sitting here with Meat Sauce and the other ones, and Helga's not here.
And she's missing out.
Helga the ghost isn't here, but we're actually enjoying some cake. Head-shaped cake. The heads we saw in the fridge were actually cakes because Bjorn came in here. Bjorn, do you want to tell him?
Yeah, okay. We're doing season 3.
Season 3.
Season 3. They've decided, we should say we haven't signed the paperwork yet, right, Mezzo?
Yeah, it's a big maybe.
Still going to talk about that, right, Mezzo?
Yeah, we'll see.
Because a lot of the time, a lot of it is just like, I don't know that we're going to make that choice, and we're so flattered, and we love it.
Right?
Everything is perfectly good. Bridget, she's just a fashionista, and
It's Brigitta.
Igor,
who is wonderful.
Totally.
And Anders, the knife-collecting janitor, who is just a delight once you get to know him.
Yeah, of course.
And I feel like I should mention there was a little confusion with the translation thing.
No, yeah.
See, Frederick was not the chief of police. He was a chef from Poland. He's a Polish chef.
Yes.
And that's my bad. He's the one who actually baked these lovely head and dick cakes. Sorry, Fred. Love you, buddy.
Mezzo's chocolate. I'm vanilla.
Louder House chocolate.
And of course, these penis replica cakes are marble. So they're really pretty, and they're delicious.
They're so good.
It was so funny because Andrew said that my dick was the most beautiful dick he's ever tasted. So
Joel, it's Anders.
that's funny, Andrew. That's funny.
So yeah, Bjorn, does this mean what I think it means? Are we doing the season finale?
You mean the live show?
Yeah, the live show in Stockholm with the beautiful logician guy and the shark cage you were going to rent. Please. Please.
Guys, we're doing the Shark Cage show.
Yes.
We're doing the shark cage
Yes.
in Stockholm?
Okay.
We're doing it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to go look at shark cages online.
Bjorn, you're the greatest.
B, D's.
By spirit, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
What
did God get right?
Yeah.
God got you right.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
listen to this. You are speaking and thinking freely.
Let me just say, he didn't get me like all wrong. Okay, I mean, I'm I have a beautiful singing voice. Sorry.
Yeah, you got talent.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm a great singer, and I've got a great personality, and now everyone in the chat knows I'm an incredible lover.
But you do think freely. You think freely. You criticize.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I mean that you are sitting here right now as we speak, and you analyze, examine, and you criticize what you believe is the mistakes of God.
I think that I certainly think I do have those things going on in my head. The freely thing is what I take exception to. I think that my thinking is just like sort of an amalgamation of prior causes, like my biology and then my influences. And I just don't consider that freely. I think that it's determined thinking or compelled thinking.
Okay, but you do criticize what you believe God did not get right.
But it's just not like free, like freely. But anyway, I'm splitting hairs. But yeah, I think things through and say things.
So you have a moral compass?
I suppose you can call it that. Yeah, colloquially. Yep.
And you have some sort of level of intelligence to do this and to find the faults that God presumably had done.
Yep.
If God created you, he did something right.
Oh, I'm not saying that God didn't do anything right, but I would say that none of the parameters there are right necessarily. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that God didn't really get it right, this being me, the vessel that thinks all these things through, because do you think I got all the stuff right? Like, do you think my critiques are correct and that my perspective, I've nailed it?
I am specifically speaking about the striving for the right direction of the moral compass.
If I got it wrong, if I'm not able to determine truth, then God didn't get this system right. Like, he didn't get the thing right, that it's not working.
I wouldn't say that the only thing that is up for grasp here is the end results, but it's the process. And you are definitely in the process of searching truth out of a moral perspective. Am I finding something right with you here?
Well, I'm wondering, because like, is the journey the destination, and is the journey of being able to seek truth, is that something that God got right? If indeed billions of souls would say, let's say, burn in hell for eternity. If there is sort of this net loss because of the ability of critical thinking, then I would say that, like, overall, that would be like a negative, don't you think? Like, he wouldn't have gotten that right.
But would you suggest he shouldn't have given you the possibility to think freely, examine, and criticize? Shouldn't he give you that?
Yeah. I would say that, like, if the result of this, now, if in your worldview, the result of this is eternal damnation for me, I would say that my ability, if it leads me to eternal damnation, is not doing it right.
Well, the eternal damnation part is if we separate the way, the road, the path, and the end result, and speak about what is good with the way, the path.
I'll say this real quick. If there's no negative outcome, like if it's just like you live, you learn, you explore, and then after you get answers and everyone ends up happy, then I would say that, like, yeah, that's cool. We'd still have to, I think, deal with the suffering, but I would say, yeah, cool. Critical thinking, being able to search for truth, this is a good thing. Maybe he got that right. But if the searching for truth is an abject failure for me, and then arguably the majority, I would say he got that wrong. He didn't do that right, because it results in way too much gratuitous suffering, right?
Well, wouldn't that lead to the alternative that nobody should have free will if it leads to bad choices?
Yeah. So, like, if everyone getting the desirable outcome is because there's no free will, then that would be the better way to go. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a deep subject. I would say it's inherently something good.
Well,
but
this is what you would probably say, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Babies are dying of cancer and there's tornadoes ripping from here and there, but thank God we got free will to love the Lord.
Is that what you're saying?
I would say this. I believe that without free will, it impossibly true compassion could exist.
Well, that's fine. Like, then we wouldn't need true compassion. Like, if we didn't have, like, all the heinous suffering, the gratuitous suffering, I like the word gratuitous, then we wouldn't.
I don't know what that means. I'm a Scandinavian.
Just like unnecessary. Just like way too much unnecessary suffering. We wouldn't need the compassion piece. Like, the compassion piece is only necessary because we have the horrors, right? So if God hadn't done the horrors, we don't need to worry about this whole compassion thing. That's all this like.
Okay. So what do you say about like scientific method? I mean, in scientific method, it's actually not. People say like this is science when they speak about a conclusion, but in reality, science isn't about conclusions. It's about searching truths and facts, and depending on which method you use, it's more or less classified.
But
as,
I think
as science.
that what they mean is that like due to science, we've achieved this. That's via, and there is a conclusion.
And wouldn't you recommend scientific method to be something good? To be able to use scientific method to strive for truths? In fact, isn't that inherently good?
The scientific method under naturalism, like there is no God, but what we have is like exploration. That's good. Yeah, of course, searching for truth is good. I would say that that's a positive thing. But what you're saying is God got this thing right. God got us searching for truth right. But that's not if we are finding truth and it's leading us away from God, which is causing us to burn in hell for eternity, if that's your worldview.
Next week, live from Stockholm, Sweden, it's a 2-on-1 shark cage match debate with Joel.
I'm Joel.
And Mezzo.
I'm Mezzo.
Versus the beautiful logician.
I bet I could break your neck with my bare hands.
Tune in to hear the Bad Bible Boys try not to get their actual limbs torn to pieces by a violent genius. It's the season finale of Bad Bible Debate.